Hey everybody, what is going on? Welcome to Late Late Horror Show with me, Dino, and that's Ginger. Wednesday night SmackDown. So here we go. I don't know.
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
Hey everybody, welcome once again. I will say it again to the Late Late Horror Show Wednesday night movie review with me and Ginger. Every Sunday and every Wednesday, I got to talk to this lady about movies.
Life's a
Bitch.
wow.
Yeah, you can say bitch. It's not PG-13. But hello, everybody in the chat. Connie, Clary, Paul Ham, CM, Black Roses.
Boy, what a crowd. What a
Yeah,
crowd
boy.
tonight.
And they'll come in. Don't worry about it. WWM, what's going on? Really quick, Paul Ham says, yes, my favorite Giallo film.
Nice. Hi, Connie.
Look.
Hi, Connie, baby. Hi, Black Roses.
And Kathy and Lee Donovan. I have
And
to address
Kathy.
that.
Hi, Lee. Thank you.
Yeah, oh, Ginger, as beautiful as ever. Happy Halloween. Can't wait for you to talk about this movie, which, again, the movie is 1964's Blood and Black Lace by Mario Bava, the granddad of Giallo films. This is where it all began. This is it. This is what the predecessors that came afterwards, kind of looked at and started to tinker with the whole Giallo genre, and of course
Hi,
we all know
Hi,
that,
Harry.
yeah, and of course we all know that Giallo actually stands for yellow, the color of the yellow books.
Yes,
from
we all know
the mystery novels and stuff like that. But Mario Bava, and then then came everybody else, took those mystery novels, and then they started adding all the sexuality, the gore, the horror aspect to it, the slasher, the killer, whatever you want to say.
Chris W. How you doing, babe?
And
and there's another style of film that they're mixing in with the Giallo, and it's a German genre.
Yes.
And I'm not going to try to pronounce it. You can try to pronounce it. Is it creamy, Kreml? Is it Kreml?
Kreml, that's hair cream.
Kreml.
You know what? That's something I didn't pick up on. So you've got something that.
Oh, come on. There's a German
style
Argento
of filmmaking.
Yeah, and Argento liked it, and it's called it's Krimi, I think, and it's German, and he mixed that in, and I think that the creamy part of it is the sexuality. I think that's because the Giallo isn't necessarily.
Yeah. It's that's the German sexuality part of it. Then the interlacing of sexes between the killers and society and everything.
It's what's the word, like seedy. It's like not perverted, but like seedy, like ew, icky, like the dark side of sexuality.
Yep. You've got it right on. I've got to say to hello to Michael Tompkins and Paul Ham again. It's pretty violent for its time, and we'll get to that. Hello, Chris W., Harry Scott, everybody. Wow, these have been the lowest numbers since me and Ted started the channel. What's going on here? Yes, Ted.
Maybe people have had enough of me and my big mouth.
No. It's just a little different.
Hi, Frank McLeod. Hi, CJM. Frank, I'm Ginger.
Yes, Frank.
Nice to meet you, Frank.
And relaxing music for sleep. Where did I? Yeah, it's pretty violent for its time. Again, this has that feel of it's 1964, so it's going to feel like 1960s. You know what I mean? So in the same vein as Breakfast at
Thanks,
Tiffany's,
Black Roses.
you get a certain kind of feel to it. But again, I told you about it being him being the granddad of Giallo films,
Thank you, Kathy.
and
Well, apparently,
this was a film that he kind of inserted all of that
yes.
violent stuff into. And if you would look at the film, you would look at it as, especially that opening sequence and stuff, like
Oh,
this
isn't
is
that great? I love it.
this is a typical 1964 film.
It's almost like a Bond movie the way it opens.
Oh yes, it is. And again, it opens up like kind of a sequence where he pans across and introduces all the characters, and they stay there kind of in a frozen, like just standing there.
And you can see that it's not like a still photograph. You can see that they're
Oh yeah,
breathing. The
they're
one
moving.
lady, her
Yeah.
earring dangles a little bit, but
Yep.
it's just, and there was an alternate opening sequence that they only released, I think, in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
Or was it only in the United States? And it was actually just the mannequins. The actors weren't in it. It was just the mannequins. And it was kind of creepy.
Yeah.
I don't know which one I like better, but.
Well, the red mannequins, well, I like the actual people. I mean, you technically in this film need to be introduced to each and every one of these characters, because every one of these characters are involved in the film.
Yeah.
And most of the women, per the era, are going to get killed. But nevertheless, there's so many characters, and you need to know each and every one of them, and that's why he pans out, goes through each and every one of them. But the mannequins.
Paul Hamm said the movie's very classy. I agree. It's very, very classy.
It's classy for what it is. Very well done. It's not very gratuitous.
Right.
I think is his point when it comes to the sexuality and even the gory parts. But when it comes to the women in the film, the gratuitous part definitely, it's like, even when the killer's dragging off a body and the woman, it's not like all the clothes are coming off or anything like that. I'd say the most risque part was when he ripped open her dress, and you see the breast, which she had a bra on. There was no nudity in this,
right?
And you see her belly and her breast there a little bit with the bra on.
But I didn't notice.
Even that was kind of classy. I mean, they kind of kept it, very, very classy. So yeah.
And there's no need to. I guess I always want to do the kill count, and the alternate title of this movie is, it gives you the kill count.
Okay, well, go
ahead.
The
alternate title of the movie is 6 Women for the Assassin.
There you go. 6 Women for the Assassin. So alternate title. CJM753BC. I'm a Chris as well. I see I have a Chris in here already. In fact, my initials are CM as well. That is so strange and weird and coincidental. But welcome to the chat. It's nice to have you. Chris W., I will hold that there for a second so we can answer your question.
I don't know that I have a favorite.
Well, we'll talk about it in a second. I still in that.
No, Black Roses, there was no final girl. Spoiler, sorry, there was no final girl.
Right. Yeah, no, this is a different type of movie. This comes down to the 2 main antagonists, and we'll talk about it. But the film kind of really goes through, I think we talked about it, the color palette. And in the opening sequence, we get bombarded with yellows, purples, blues, all the colors that you would see in a lot of the.
It's like a stained glass window all the time, just all these brilliant, brilliant colors.
And it's so dark, and with the colors and the blackness, that when you get the 2 daylight scenes, it just like, whoa, it just appears, and you're like going, this just doesn't belong here.
Yeah, like, I don't like this. Go back to that other thing.
Yeah, turn the lights out again. Turn the lights out again. But seeing all these colors of lights, which Dario Argento did, so well. It really is something, a staple for Giallo films. And
I
again,
read something about why he chose. That's a that the brilliant colors. I can't remember. There's a reason why he did it that way, and it wasn't like to be true to any established form of
yeah.
film at the time. It's just something that he had seen somewhere and he liked it, and he said he wanted to incorporate that into it and make. He was consciously making it an element of his giallo
Are
genre.
you talking about Dario Argento?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's an artist, is what
yeah.
he is, and
Hi, Kathy, Rich Cat.
he loved to incorporate the aesthetic
Hmm.
to his films, and he was inspired by colors that he in something he's seen, and
Hmm.
put them in to his film. And seeing the past films such as Mario Bava did here, with taking from this movie, like I said, the granddad, and just everybody learning from what he did, because this film was shot so well,
Mm.
it's not even funny. I mean, you go to film school, everything he did in this with film camera movements, everything about it is just speaks
Lee Donovan has a
professional.
good question too. Maybe we should answer Chris because
Okay.
Lee Donovan has a good question too.
Okay. Well, yes, and we'll slowly get through all of this film and everything else. Ginger and Dino, which character do you attract? Which character is your favorite, and what attracts you to that character? So
I
you did.
honestly would have to say my favorite character, just because she was so gorgeous, was the girl who got drowned in the bathtub.
Okay,
She
so
was so exotic looking. There's just
that
she
was
was so
Tao
strange.
Lee.
Hmm?
Tao Lee.
Yes.
Really? Okay, interesting.
Just
Because
because of the way she looked, her look was so. I think she was supposed to be Asian.
oh yes, 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 they
She
gave
wasn't
her that
Asian, but that's what they were going for. Oh my God, you
Yeah.
couldn't do that today. But anyway.
Well, yeah, yeah, exactly. No, Tao Lee was a very interesting character. She was kind of the tougher, kind of rough-edged women in the film, who didn't take no crap kind of
Hmm.
female.
So, who's
And
your favorite character? Do you have one?
I would have to say, geez, man, this is a tough one. You know, the one that stood out for me a lot was Peggy Payton, the blonde at the beginning, for her beauty and for what she was doing, because the story kind of transcends around her with that
And
diary
didn't
and everything else.
is she the one
But
that gets killed immediately? No, Isabella was the one that got killed immediately.
yeah,
Isabella was the one who had the diary that this whole movie is based about.
yes,
It's the diary.
yes, yes, and
So anyway, your favorite character?
ended up going in the hands of the blonde Peggy Payton, who
Mhm.
wanted to take that diary, which she found in a box because they were looking for a brooch that Isabella was supposed to wear in the dress.
Mhm.
But she kind of stood out to me. But there's also the antique dealer, Franco Scalo, uh, who was an interesting character because of the drug addiction,
Yeah.
the
This movie had
womanizing.
some this movie did have some mature themes.
Oh yeah, he was.
I was surprised at that. It had some kind of taboo
Yes, yes.
things.
Oh,
That surprised me.
womanizing, blackmailing, cocaine, which
A pill popper.
well,
One guy popped pill, and then a woman
in the
who
60s, coke came in little pouches and they were in pill form, and they would pop. So, anyways, but
a
he was,
woman who had to
yeah,
leave the country and go to Italy to have a procedure done that's illegal in Italy, and she was afraid that that might be in the diary. This
yes.
movie had some stuff.
It had some tough subject matter. Yes, it did. It hit on, and again, he was pushing the boundaries a
Hmm.
lot. I mean, he pushed the boundaries on everything.
But he
A
did it
lot of
with
people.
so much class. Like everybody said,
He
the movie was
did.
so classy. It was just so
He
classy done.
Yes, yes, and it's because the whole movie revolves around fashion models.
Yeah.
It's technically what was the name of the place? Christian High Fashion.
Christian haute couture.
Yes, yes.
Hi,
Which
traveling fools.
Hey, traveling fools, what's going on? Yo, 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 yo. Let me go up to real quick to Lee Donovan. Is it the question?
The
What
mood,
feel?
what mood was Argento going for? That was his question.
What feel or vibe was he going with the film?
I think he
Um,
was going for um he
yeah.
really wanted it to be kind of vulgar. He was going to like consider the time 1964. That movie was kind of vulgar for its time.
Well,
For a
yeah,
general release movie, I think that he wanted to, not, I don't want to not necessarily maybe say vulgar, but he wanted to show you the ugly parts of life. Like these are high fashion models. They um they're around the like highest class of people and stuff, and look at how nasty and disgusting their lives are, and they're
yeah.
so full of sin and immorality, and it's just like a monster that feeds on itself. And
Yep, yep.
also he wanted it to be, like you said, like a work of art with just so visually beautiful. But I think he was going for, look at how ugly and disgusting people's lives can be. I'm going to put this in your face. You're going to see.
I agree with you 100%. I think that's exactly what he was going for. He was trying to keep. He was breaking. He was breaking boundaries on everything. During the '60s in Italy, and what was going on in Europe at the time with
Oh, Paul, I'm
society.
sorry. You're right. It was Bava. I said Argento. It was Bava. You're right, Paul. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, Mario Bava. So with what was going on with society at the times between
Mm-hmm.
men and women, and just like you said, the higher class and the lower class, middle
Mm-hmm.
class, he kind of put all of that into his the film and his
Mm-hmm.
storytelling, and with it revolving around the fashion industry, which involves all of those people, from the people who are, and we'll get to the characters in the film too, which
There's
to
so
the
many. There's
to
so
the dr-
many. I like all these movies. I'm like, why do we need more people? I can't keep. And stop telling me their names. I'm never gonna remember their names. Like,
That's all
stop telling
right.
me their names.
You refer to them as whatever you want. I do got some names of these
The
people,
cop, the police
but
lieutenant,
well, that's Inspector Silvestri.
Silvestri.
Silvestri. So, but you know what? The movie technically, like you said, it starts off pretty much with Isabella, and well, no, Peggy runs out to the one guy, the antique dealer Franco Scalo, who she's having an affair with, and evidently he's having an affair with Isabella too. So it's revolving around all these people having affairs with each other, but it's revolving around Franco Scalo.
Uh,
But at the beginning of the movie, them two meet up, and with the diary and everything like that, and she runs back in, and that's when Isabella ends up being the first victim,
mm-hmm.
and ends up getting strangled and pulled away by the black jacketed,
With a
gloved, yeah,
mask.
the mask on his face, which is
And
reminiscent.
you really, really can't tell if it's a man or a woman.
He did
Except
a
for the
very,
really super broad shoulders. That was, I was like, but
yeah, yeah.
there are red herrings in this.
Oh, every character's a red herring.
Yes,
Everybody,
literally, every man in this
yeah,
movie is a red herring.
everybody who revolves in this fashion, whatever, uh, industry is a red herring, and they do a good job at
It's
first.
just beer, Kathy. I just put it in a fancy glass to make myself feel posh. It's just beer, though.
uh the no-faced killer. Well, it's
Yeah.
funny because even like later in years, like comic book creators use that kind of same thing in some of their noir novels, like The Watchmen and stuff like that. So again, a lot of things were taken from you know early horror films, and
Mm.
I think the Italian horror kind of paved the way for everything we got afterwards. We talk about, like, Halloween paving the way for slasher films when it came out. uh in America, most people would think that, but
Mm.
I would harken back to the Italian giallo films, where
And
they
what
picked
about like the torture porn type movies like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That, I mean, where does that come in? Is that's not Giallo, but that was an American thing.
Well, yeah, that's 100% an American thing.
Yeah.
That, where that came from was a serial killer sitting down who became a director. No, I'm joking. And said, "Let
Yikes.
me just make the most disturbing thing ever and gross
Mhm.
people out." And listen, some people love that stuff, and good for them, I guess. But I can't stand it. I don't see the point in it, other than getting off the blood and everything else. There's not very many great storylines around these torture porn films that we see, like Saw and everything, although except for the first Saw. But anyways,
I don't like torture porn. I don't like Saw, Hostel. I don't like any of those. I
no,
don't like those. They're disturbing to me.
yeah,
They bother me. They stick with me. It keeps me awake at night. I can't watch stuff like that. I
yeah.
can't.
Well, who's
Very
the
disturbing.
well, who's the first character that we were introduced to that we kind of think maybe the killer is? Marco. It's
Yeah.
the cokehead. And we find out a little bit later that he's epileptic. So is
It
he a
wasn't
drug
cocaine
addict?
he was taking. It was medication for his epilepsy.
Yes. So we thought he was one of the drug addicts,
Mhm.
and no, he was just taking medication for epilepsy. But
Hi, Sam Barker.
he constantly, hello, Sam Barker, what's going on? Frank McLeod, Quentin Tarantino said he'd be a serial killer if he wasn't in a film.
Excuse
in
me.
films.
Beth.
Yeah, that could be. So we were introduced to Marco, who is the kind of like the cokehead, and we think he's the killer. He runs in after the killing is done, and he's like going like this with his collar, and you think he's the killer. But no, of course, right away I go, there's no way the first introduction of somebody acting weird and strange, red herring, is not going to be the killer. But yeah. So what was your thoughts on Marco? Go ahead. Or whatever. What do you got next?
Yeah, the diary. I was very confused about that diary. I mean,
what's there confused about? It has
are you just left to presume, or did I miss the part where they made it clear that it was a diary, that there might be salacious information about everyone in that fashion house? To me, that wasn't made clear. How do you know that?
Because first of all, it's a diary. Okay.
Does it say diary?
It does say diary. First of all,
okay,
it's a diary. In the minute,
I thought it was an address book or something. I don't know.
No, the minute Peggy picked it up, the blonde, she said, "Ooh, a diary. Oh, this is all."
And then she proceeds to put it in her purse and leave it on a table and completely walk away. Like, what are you doing?
Well, she also, when she opened that diary and started looking at it, the director kind of starts pointing at every single character in that room, because there is something, blackmail, whatever it is, with her and that person, because each and every one of them looked, and you could tell, ooh, some kind of like the old films from the 30s and 40s, where
yes, very much.
Where like, oh, somebody died, there's a killer, you're all the killer. So who?
And literally, the Silvestri, the police guy, he locked up everybody. He locked up every man.
Did you say the police guy?
Huh?
Did you say the police guy?
Silvestri.
Welcome to the police guy. Yeah, 1970s TV show, The Police Guy. Yeah, the police officer or lieutenant.
This is something that you told me about Giallo before we watched the Quack 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 movie.
Yes.
That about the voice thing. This killer never speaks.
Technically not.
They wrote something down in a notebook, and I thought that was weird, but I think, I don't want to give away the ending, but there were two killers. Like in Scream, there were actually two killers.
always 20 minutes in give away the ending. Stop that.
This is central to the reason what I'm talking about right now. That the
You
reason
can
why
beat around the
killer,
bush. Go ahead.
the
Beat
killer
around the bush the best you can.
writes something down
Yeah.
instead of saying it so that
Yeah.
you never hear their voice.
And that's when he kills Peggy.
That's such a great
blonde.
device. That was a great device that they never spoke.
Yes. No.
Then it
that
turns out at the
scene-
end that one of the killers was a man and one was a woman.
Yes.
Oh, spoiler!
And again, this movie, these scenes in this movie, I believe, and the praise is not going to be a 10 out of 10 for me for this film, but for what it's made, or the ground that it broke for giallo films and slasher films and things ahead of that time. I mean, we had Peeping Tom here in America at the time, but nothing really like this was going on, incorporating a dramatic thriller that they had in the 50s and early 60s into some really dark, disturbing, topics, like
And
you
just
said.
one thing after another. Like everybody in this
Yeah.
movie is so grimy. Like everybody in
Oh,
this
yeah.
movie is just. Ugh.
And when you get to that scene where the killer writes down on the piece of paper,
Where's the diary?
yes, he's like slapping her, but the way that it's all set up was so well done. I can't begin to say how much I love the cinematography, the camera movement, the way he set up and staged each scene was just amazing. And that comes from,
it was art.
yes, it comes from, honestly, one of the greater directors ever for cinematography, setting up, for all of those things I just mentioned. I'm not saying he made the greatest films of all time, but for
he
what
made
these
them interesting, and a lot of people wanted to copy him, so he had something right.
Yes, Paul Hamm, the killer kills the girl trying to burn the diary, a really brutal beating. Yes, that's the other thing that kind of lends to male killer, what's going on, because whereas the killer is strong, he's given a beating with slaps, and you're like, what's going on there? It's kind of odd and kind of weird, but
it kind of makes sense at the end, though.
It does.
By the end of the movie, it makes sense, I think.
Well, they do mention, though, that there was only 2 kills done by the female.
Woman.
Yes.
And one we didn't see, correct?
Yes. And the rest were done by the man. And anyways, so yes. So
so Black Roses was asking about the final girl, and I said there's no final girl in this movie. And the final girl was what would have been the final girl was one of the killers. Yes.
It's a very odd ending. I can't wait to talk about the ending too, because it's a very odd and weird, strange way to end. Again, if you're a giallo fan, you look at this, you take it with, this is the beginning of it all. So it's not your typical giallo. It's not your, where later on, like Dario Argento and others kind of ran away with like the female male thing, the not really knowing, from the killer's perspective.
So
good.
Nicole
Yeah.
Nicole goes to deliver some of the nose candy, and she gets killed, and the killer is looking for the diary. And so that's when you find out, well, it sort of makes sense. This person. Why do they have to kill everybody, though? Just get the diary. You have to kill everybody, but
well, because everybody's being blackmailed. And again, if there's any downside to the movie, it's that they're a little vague in some of the plot. Okay. Like you said, why do they have to kill everybody? Why Why is it, what's going on behind the scenes that all of this is taking place anyways? Is it just the blackmail? Is it that the killer was involved with a lot of these women too and didn't want to upset or ruffle feathers? So that
And
killer
the
instinct.
blackmail is like, when you say the blackmail, do you mean the blackmail itself? Also, the information in that diary is very valuable and nobody wants that information getting out. So the blackmail is a component of it, but it's also, they just don't want that information getting out. There's a lot of
Right.
dirt on those people in that diary.
It's like Clue. Every single person kind of has a backstory with Isabel.
And a motive.
Yes, and a motive. Because some are blackmailed, can be blackmailed from the diary with drugs. Some she gave money to, lots of money, and there's blackmail there. And hello, Binks, what's going on? Been a while since we've seen you in the chat. Just a casual discussion on a movie here. It's good to see people are starting to
Peggy, and here's another component that's like Scream. Peggy
little bit
goes to deliver, and Peggy's the one who had to go to England to have a procedure done, and she doesn't want anybody finding out about that.
Yeah.
The way she pulls off the killer's mask, so she sees who the killer is before they kill her, but we never find out who she's looking at. But she pulls the mask off of them, just like in Scream.
Well, okay, if you want to give that parallel. I mean, geez, what the heck? That's really reaching.
We always said Scream, literally everybody knows Scream took something from every horror movie that's ever been made. I mean,
yeah. No, of course. Revealing but that's happened in a ton of horror movies where the mask.
Okay, Mr. Horror Movie Expert, I didn't know that.
Oh, geez, where the mask is pulled off and the victim goes, and they kill the victim. So, that is been done to death. Done. But
Point taken.
Okay, good. I'm glad to know that, because you can write that down and put it on.
I don't need to write it down.
A board in front of you. Will
I'll
you remember
save my fingers for other things.
You'll remember it. You'll remember that.
I already take a shot.
Okay, good.
Shot number 1.
but yeah, no. And that's so Peggy is the one that he smacks silly. Okay. Isabel is the first kill. We get to Peggy at the apartment, who goes there.
And then he burns her. He burns her face.
Oh, come on. I'm working my way there.
Okay.
Jesus, Griminy. What's going on, Rich Cat? I'm obsessed with Scream franchise. Oh, Binks, good for you. Love you. Anyways, not that I'm not a fan of the Scream franchise, but
Horror Junkie, thank you, sweetie.
It's a fun series. Horror Junkie for life. $20 super chat.
You are like the most awesome, honestly. Every night. Thank you.
And it's not all about the support, but the support is a big deal. It helps. I thank you, Horror Junkie. You're again part of the family. Sorry I'm late. Hope everyone is doing good tonight. Happy Hump Day. Dino's channel.
Happy to see ya.
Donald Duck Apple Juice. The answer is always 42. Referring to RTN there. Denny, who isn't here right now, but hopefully he'll catch the spooky overnight. Thank you again, Horror Junkie.
This is my last page of notes. I only had four pages of notes front and back for this movie. That's not a lot of notes.
You're done with your notes?
I have one more back and front page.
Oh, okay. So let's get to Peggy. But in the meantime, can I say, again, with the cinematography, he does this, he does this camera movement where he's in the fashion, the fashion house there, where they're putting on a runway model show or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's doing the slide with the camera up and down. And
through each little dressing room, he goes down, and so you're seeing like everything that's going on. You're seeing it all.
Yes, he works his way through each model, works his way back down. She gets a phone call, and the camera, as it's moving down, continues that sequence all the way up to the phone, and it is just done so freaking well. It's just amazing. And that's a scene where, again, like you said, Peggy put her purse down it was so stupid. Like, everybody's looking at it. And there is a character
diary that she knows that diary's got some stuff in it. Obviously, everybody looks, literally everybody in the house looks when she picks the diary. Everybody goes, everybody's head turns. And
but because
she puts the diary in her purse and then turns her back and walks away and goes and does a walk down the runway. I'm like, what are you doing?
Because if one person went to go get the purse and they're all looking, then you know
that's true.
That's true. Person's the guilty person. So
That's true. That's true.
So getting really quick, Harry, and they love turtles. Yeah, turtles are great. Be right back. If I miss the end, I'll see you at overnight. Okay, sounds good. Rich Cat Ranch.
I think you and Binks could have a little email chat or something. Binks has a request.
If you ever do a stream on the Friday the 13th franchise, can I please co-host too, Binks? You can listen, Binks. You can reach out to me at my email. It's in the description. It's dinomedia2020 at icloud.com. I've done. There's 7 years of content on my channel. Everybody knows the Old Time Radio Show and what's going on now, present day. But there's 7 years of content. I did every trivia night for Friday the 13th, the entire series. I've done full commentaries on Friday the 13th movies. So I've hit them all. Halloween, Friday the 13th.
There's nothing new under the sun, is what Dino's saying.
But listen, I wouldn't mind going back to rehash the movies in a different way. So email me. There could be something there. I
they don't know who the killer is. So the Silvestri says, just bring everybody in. We'll put everybody in custody. And just like in Scream, everyone's in jail and another killing happens. So they realize they think none of these people is actually the killer because they had, just like in Scream.
Yes.
They had Billy in jail and they thought Billy was the killer. And then Stu killed.
This is Scream. I knew this was Scream. We're not watching this. Oh my God. Oh.
My opinion matters.
Awesome. Matters. I'll definitely do that. Damn it. I hate being a noob, says Binks. No, Binks. Listen, if you're up to doing something, you let me know. Email me. I'm listen, we're family, and to bring people on and do something is would be interesting.
No, thank you, Black Roses. No, thank you.
There's nothing new under Dino's pumpkin. He's the Horror King. There's always something new to talk about with different people when it comes to these movies. But yes, they're all at that police station being interrogated, and the killing goes on, and the killing is the killing of Peggy, the blonde-haired girl. Mm-hmm. And this was the one killing that was done by the female and not the male. And it's very hard to tell. It's very
hard to tell.
It's very hard to tell when it's cold outside. But listen here, folk.
Water's deep today.
Water sure is deep.
Cold too.
You can definitely kind of, after watching it, go, you know what? That killer there.
One of my kids, when I was a school bus driver, one of my kids got me this. It says,
"Oh, that's so fantastic."
You're the best.
So, yeah, put that down. Anyways, no, that's very cute. I wish one of my children that from the busing days.
Anyway,
they probably put a lot of work into that too. Did you think that was a craft thing in school that they did? Like an art class?
How about the scene when they were in the?
You don't know the art teacher?
Like it was really
You're
dark.
a bus driver. You should know the art teacher. Anyways, what was going on?
When the light is flashing and she looks and she's like, did I see somebody? And there's this figure standing there and the light flashes and he's there and the light turns off and he's not there. Like she's looking
Yeah,
and
we can mention a couple mistakes in this film. One of them
that's okay.
is
It was still a great scene.
oh yeah, it was a
It
great
was
scene,
riveting.
but it was a cut. When yeah,
It
she
was
goes
clearly a cut.
yes, goes to the antique, and you can see the killer back there, and he just vanishes.
Looking menacing.
Yes, he's supposed to creep back into the darkness, but he doesn't. He just vanishes, and that was just a cut. But mistakes, if there's a couple mistakes in the film, so be it. But nevertheless, the killing that happens there. Oh wait, hold on. Now I'm getting my kills. See, there's so many characters in this film. The person who goes to the antique store is the second one to get killed. It's not.
Oh, that must be what I'm thinking of. The antique store with the light flashes on and off.
Yeah. So is that Peggy or is that somebody else?
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
No, it does, because is it Peggy at the apartment that gets burned? That's Peggy, right?
Yes.
So who's the female at the antique store
hold on.
that gets killed?
See, that's why there's so many names.
Okay,
There's so
it
many people that I
doesn't-
just stopped trying to keep track of the names.
Listen, it doesn't matter. Anyways, let's see. Have you found the
That
right
wasn't
community?
Nicole, was it? Was that Nicole? Who was the one that got burned in the face?
I thought that was Peggy. Peggy gets
Yeah.
burned. Yes, Paul Ham. Thank you. We need back on track. We're getting mixed up here. Binks, WWM. I definitely found right community. My last community was awful. Says Binks, doxing and going real.
Doxing, like
getting
seriously.
Listen, Binks. I try to keep this channel as
Drama free.
as possible. The only rules is no religion, no politics, and no C word or P word. You know what I mean?
And no bullying. No bullying.
It still goes on because people think 3 a.m, 4 a.m, I don't go back and look at the chat, and I
Or
always
that
look at the
someone's
chat.
not watching and someone's always watching.
Because if you guys don't know, if you go back to a past stream, you can act like it's live. I mean, if you really want to get that atmosphere, because the live chat is always saved. So you see everything that people are saying going through the night, so it's always there, but I'm going to join Patreon within the next few days.
Oh,
Thank
awesome.
you, Binks. The link is there.
Tell them about the movie nights on Fridays.
Well, again, that's a good thing. Let's bring it up. Patreon, and even joining the channel here. If you do that, you have access to lots of fun things. Movie nights.
Fun.
Yes, movie nights every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Poll goes up usually Monday, and we pick a movie. Looks like it's going to be, I don't know what it's going to be yet. It's between
It's going to be that really old one that I don't want to see. But
it's the Howling. Oh, listen, that's a fantastic movie. But anyways, the Howling, Wolfen, and
I want the Howling
of London. The Howling may win because there's a lot of people voting on Patreon too.
The Howling better win. No, I'm kidding.
So it's almost 50-50. But
see, the fun thing about Fridays is you don't even necessarily care what the movie is because we have so much fun in the Patreon on Fridays.
Oh yeah, no,
it's more than just the movie.
Yes, we all talk about a half hour, 40 minutes before the movie starts. Catch up and get to know each other. And
ketchup, mustard.
Yes, ketchup. And there's going to be a big Halloween party towards the end of October, where we're all, if you guys want, can come dressed up. I'm going to come dressed up in a costume.
Of course you are.
And we're all going to get together and have some Halloween stories and talk and have a good old party. So that's coming up. Since we missed last month's get together, we will be doing that. So I went on and on. Movie nights is when we spike the
robbed. I feel cheated.
Says Horror Junkie. Yes, we spike it. It's a little rated R sometimes too, with how things go, but very, very fun. And there's Discord too that you have links to and join. Lots of perks. Birthday parties.
Bar mitzvahs.
Yeah, bar mitzvahs. We have all kinds of things.
Quinceañeras.
We have get-togethers in certain cities around the globe.
Yes.
Plane tickets provided by, and yeah, no, it's fun.
Eastern Airlines. No,
It's
Piedmont.
it's
Piedmont
listen
Airlines.
here. Okay, so it's Peggy who goes back to the apartment
Hi,
by
Roger Stephen
herself.
Max.
Who? Roger
Roger
Stephen
Stephen
Max.
Max. Which
What's up,
sounds like a
Roger
Dutch name.
Stephen
And I
Max?
asked him before if he was Dutch, and he ignored me. But Max, the way it's spelled, it looks like a Dutch name.
Yeah, 2 A's. Yeah, Max. Hello, Max. What's going on, Max? Anyways, that may be bad.
So
I said
the
that way,
cop
but Peggy.
realizes
Okay,
that
what?
no one that he has in custody could be the killer because another killing happens. So he
See how-
releases everybody from custody. And when
Yeah.
they're getting their belongings back, among the one guy's belongings is a Swedish penis enlarger pump. No. Among his belongings
What
is a notebook. And you saw that notebook at the beginning of the movie. And now you find out, that notebook belongs to the killer. How do we know that that notebook belongs to the killer? Because it was at the beginning of the movie. And when they released them from prison, you see that same notebook with the little fleur-de-lis design on it. And you're like, oh, he's the killer. But how can he be the killer if he was in jail and somebody else got killed?
Well,
and he looks at it, he's like,
it's an early like foretell of
foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing of the future killer.
Stop
Hopefully you guys aren't hearing
fancy
that.
words, Dino.
Hopefully you guys aren't hearing that echo too loud there. Jesus, it's driving me nuts. But
you don't have to be passive aggressive about it. I'll turn it down if you need me to. You can just speak directly. Dino.
What? I'm here. But yes, that's kind of a foreshadowing with the little book, and it does end up becoming the killer. That is the killer. We're not saying
one of them. One of the killers.
We're almost at the top of the hour, and we haven't even gotten to the middle of the movie. Okay, let's quickly get through it. Okay, so the woman at the antique store. This is where I ramble really fast just to catch us up. At the antique store, gets it by evidently the female. Okay, and I can't remember the lady's name at the antique store, but she gets it. Doesn't matter. And she gets it with some really gory, like 3-pronged hand.
Yeah, what is that thing? That thing was vicious looking. It looked like a medieval torture device.
He pounds it in her face, and
is that one of the things that you do down in your dungeon, Dino? When you take ladies down there and stuff?
Let's not talk about it. I like to keep some things private. So he gets it in her face, and he throws, again, hard to lift her with this killing. So
yes,
when the female's killing, there's a lot more like, oh, I can't carry, you know what I mean? So,
and you see at the end the way that she did the final, her second kill, definitely it was a female way to do it. Like a guy wouldn't have done it like that.
Yeah. So kills this girl, throws her around the corner, which is so stupid. I don't even understand what that was about. Carries her around the corner, plops her down on a body, takes a body of armor.
And then the butler comes in and the body's right there. Her head's even sticking out. You can see her head.
Not that scene. Talking about the antique store, where he throws the body over the prong in the face, throws the body over, puts the knight in shining armor, the knight's outfit, and throws it on top of the body and leaves. She must have been sleeping in that part. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Then we get to the apartment where Peggy is there with the epileptic.
We did talk about this. She went to take him some nose candy.
Yes. This is now we're at the scene where he's writing down that note where you talked about at the beginning. Where's the diary? But she was sitting with the guy who loves her, who's the coke addict. Okay. LOL, Dino, keep those Rocky Horror Picture Show nights private. Yeah. Yep. Chris W. And Peggy's there, and he's pissed that she's burning the diary. She says it's in the fire. Oh my God, I can't believe
he only burns. Did she burn the whole diary?
She burns the whole diary. Okay. She burns the whole diary. But he ends up slapping her and drags her up to the roof of this place, right? And where he ties her up. And
because he wants to find out where the diary is, or
No, he just wants to kill her and
Okay.
torture her. It's just kind of this is the torture scene. Hey, hey, hey! It's Dave Plouffe with an
Dave
E.
Buffet,
Uh,
long time no see, stranger.
yeah. What's going on? Hopefully you're feeling good and all that.
How's your back, old man?
Yeah. Hopefully your back's doing good. But he takes Peggy up to the roof, ties her up to the chair. There's a fire going right next to her, and this is where, for 1964, this kind of film, the gore really comes out.
Yeah.
He takes her hand first of all. Whoever takes her hand, puts it on her and burns her hand, then takes the face and smushes it into this pot or the fire, whatever, like kung
And you
fu.
see her face later
Kung
too, all
Fu, where
burned up.
he lifts that. Yeah, it's special effects for Italian cinema. I don't know who. I'd have to look on who did the like special effects and makeup and stuff, but they all had that kind of like waxy candle wax type red look to it. It's not the best, but it does its purpose. But
It was shocking. I bet back then, especially, it was really shocking.
oh yeah, yeah. I knew it. Chris dressed like Dr. Frankenfurter. Oh boy. I just don't want to make sure I miss anything because Restream doesn't pick a lot of things up sometimes. But so he burns her face, and it's just a horrific scene. You're like going, "Oh my god, I can't believe they're doing this in 1964 like this."
Wrap it up.
And that's done. And who takes her back to the house? It's Contessa Christiana, right? Who brings she opens the trunk and the body pops out, kind of being like, "Oh, did I just find this? What's going on?"
And that's when
But
you see her face all burned.
yeah, and she drags her body in, hides it under the staircase,
And that's
and
when the butler comes in with her tea or whatever, and her head is sticking out from behind there. It's like, do you
yeah.
not see the head right there behind that screen?
What the flock? What's going on? Yeah, no, and the butler, his name's Jeeves. He comes in.
Of course it is.
I don't know the butler's name.
They don't give his name.
Doesn't
Jeeves.
matter.
That'll work.
Yeah, yeah. But he doesn't see because she puts the two, like, what are they called? They're like where you dress behind. What are those called? The antique stores. You know, they would take their clothes off behind
It's
the
called
little.
a screen. I just called it that. It's called a screen.
It's just called a screen?
Yes, it's called a
Oh,
screen.
that's boring. That's boring. I know there's a French name for it that's better than a screen. It served a purpose back in the early part of the century for women who got dressed really quickly and unclothed, but she blocked it off. Look at the most interesting thing I'm talking about right now is
I think you have a thing for those screens.
well, I like to undress behind them. They had them in White Christmas, where Bing Crosby went behind it and would take his clothes off and undress in front of oh my God, the other guy. Oh, Dave Plouffe knows. White Christmas. We got Bing Crosby and we got Sammy K. What's his name? Gosh darn it. And that's one of my favorite Christmas films of all time. And I don't know the guy's name. Tell me it. It's because I'm older and, my brain's going. So anyways, a little dementia coming on there. So the butler does come in and see that. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Go on.
Danny Kaye. Is that Danny Kaye? Dave Ploufface's Partition. We're talking about privacy. Danny Kaye.
Yeah,
there you
call
go.
it a partition, but it's.
I said it before you. Psychology Noir with Dr. Lund. I love the name. Can I get a session with you? But yes, Danny Kaye. Bing Crosby. He couldn't undress in front. Back in the day. Seeing a man in boxer shorts.
Called is a screen or a dressing screen.
Fred Astaire. What's going on there? Bing Crosby. Yes. Putting on the Ritz. Woohoo. What's going on? Echo again. Jeez. It has nothing to do with your volume, so you're good. Anyways, Ping Fang. What's that? What the flock? Ping Fang. Is that what they call it? Okay, let's move on. What's next?
Let's.
So, Chris, this is where Countess Christiana. What goes? Come on, Ginger. Come on, spit it out.
What?
Tell me something. What's going on now?
When she kills the girl that's supposed to be Asian.
No,
What?
we're not there yet. Okay, so there's an interesting part where the killer leaves afterwards, and that's when they bring everybody in because they all see we're all over the place
We are. So keep going.
because they heard
And there's so
the
many people. There's so many names. I can't keep track of all the names.
Goomba. Why am I green? Hey Goomba, what's going on? Well, I'll tell you why you're green, Goomba, because Horror Junkie for Life is such a sweet person that she's gifted a lot of people memberships.
I wonder
So
if they do membership gifting on other channels. I don't think I've ever seen that done on another channel. Who can tell us
no,
if they
but
do?
Goomba, if this is a special place with a lot of special people who care about everybody who's part of the channel and loves the channel and
And is loyal to the channel.
loves the chat and everything else. So Goomba, you were gifted a membership, so you have access to movie nights every Friday night at 8 p.m. You can join us anytime you want. Links are always provided. So moving on, much love, Horror Junkie, love you. And so yeah, we're reaching a point. There's a guy in this too, one of the red herrings, who's kind of a Peter Lorre lookalike. He's kind of
a little guy. He's a little guy.
well, and he looks like Peter Lorre.
Yeah.
He looks like Peter Lorre. He doesn't talk like him.
His mannerisms are like Peter Lorre.
Yes, he's like Pierre something. I don't know. There's also another guy who looks very strange too. I don't know. But see, we work up to the point where Countess Christiana is at the fashion hotel, whatever you want to call it, and all the women are going home. And this is when Tao Li ends up saying, I'm just going home by myself. I do not need any help and everything like that. So that's where she ends up going. And I think that's where the next killing ends up starting, right? Am I wrong?
Yes. Well, see,
Refer
Christiana and his name's Morlacci.
Morlacci?
He convinces her that they have to do
Morlacci.
Yes. They have to do one more murder to satisfy the hypothesis that they never had the murderer. They have no idea.
Get it out. Jeez. We need to have a talk after this stream.
Ooh. I'm scared.
Are you scared? Listen, come on. Get the show on the road, lady. Jeez.
Well,
Gravity.
so they want to make it look like what they're actually trying to do is to make it look like the Asian Tao Li. They're trying to make it look like she's the killer. So Christiana goes to her place.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's what they're trying to do. That's why they try to make it look like a suicide. She drowns her in the bathtub and then she slashes her wrist because they want to make it look like she killed herself. And then she leaves the mask and the gloves and stuff there.
This movie's too complicated this week.
Yes.
You know that's not the next kill. The next kill is the other female, which I don't know her name either, but there were 3 girls who left this fashionista, whatever you want to call it. And Tao is one of the last people to get killed. The next victim is the 3rd girl that was leaving, going back to the apartment. They were 3 roommates. Okay, gosh darn it. And the last roommate was going back, and the killer ended up suffocating her with a pillow.
With a pillow.
And the way he throws the body of Peggy Sue, throws Peggy on top of. Don't you love just sitting here listening to us discuss this movie? Don't you just love it? Huh?
We were rolling along in a pretty good clip there at first, but somewhere we careened wildly off the tracks.
Well, careening wildly off the track is the fun part. But listen, listen. What ends up happening is the bodies get thrown on top of each other in this very unique way. Again, I bring that.
That's kind of creepy to see the bodies stacked on top of each other and looking
Yeah,
at you
no, I
like,
bring that out because it's just an interesting
because it's all
part
you
of the
remember. That's
movie.
why you bring it out, because you don't remember anything else.
No, it's because you're jumping to the end of the film 10 minutes into the discussion. It's so
We need to have
ridiculous.
a talk. We
Oh,
need
we're
to
gonna
have
have
a
a
chat.
talk, all right. This is just
Unacceptable.
yeah. Who's talking about getting a wrench? What's going on here? Let's see. Do you see it? Who's talking about getting a wrench? How do I get hit with a blue wrench, Goomba? Well, Goomba, you know,
That's an interesting question
shush,
from Goomba.
this. Well, listen. Hey, Doug the cat, groovy man. What's going on? Good to see you. Okay, so Goomba, this is the thing. Wrenches. I give out wrenches to. There's an instinct inside of me of people I know who are dedicated to the channel and are only here and love this channel, and to have a wrench means respecting everything like that's around the channel and stuff like that. I'm trying to describe why I give wrenches out. First of all, it's to moderate the channel. There's with it comes help that is needed for trolls that come in and people who get out of hand, who talk religion, politics, and all that. That just get out of hand. So it happens a lot, and the wrench is a responsibility, but it's also handed out to people who are dedicated to channel and love the channel.
It's called loyalty.
Yeah. And well, I mean, in a little way, it is. Yeah, that. When you become part of the family, I trust you enough to like give a wrench, And my eyes are everywhere on YouTube. They're all over, they're
Even in
just
the back of his head.
when you're doing YouTube and this is what you do, you know what I mean? You're aware of everything, okay? So they're giving out the people that I have an instinct about, a gut feeling about, ones I don't see, channel hopping to be, you know, can you imagine me giving all the respect and a wrench and all of that, and then that person's over somewhere else and showing all the loyalty to someone else who tends to, again, I don't want to go down that road of copying and just taking from and
Yeah.
all of that, but that's a big part of it. And people can even change names, become somebody
Someone
different
did
in
that
another
just last
chat and
night.
stuff like that. But
Someone
anyways,
came in here last night trying to cause trouble and they used a different name. It was weird.
it's all right. It happens every single. It's always happened. But let's move on. But that's in a roundabout way. That's kind of you earn it, and if the trust or
Something else that I
whatever
noticed about Dino is he
is
doesn't like
lost.
giving wrenches to people who ask for them. He likes to surprise you.
Oh, well, yeah, that I don't think I've ever given one to somebody who's asked. But anyways, that's kind of in a roundabout way, your family. I trust you. I
Or
trust
Junkie said
you.
it also gives you discounts for foot massages.
There you go. Oh, you wouldn't believe the perks you get. I'm telling you. But anyways, nevertheless, hello, Adam for Christ, and everybody else who comes in here. Not meaning to cause drama or nothing like that. I'm just saying the facts. But yeah. So where were we in this dang thing here?
I don't know, Dino. Where were we? We were talking about.
Okay, yes. Contessa Christiana, who is the female, lover, we find out, to Massimo Moreland, who is the guy who owns
The
this
fashion house.
fashion house. Yes. Christian high fashion. And again, I don't mean to rub people the wrong way. It's like any family, people can get hurt, feelings can get hurt and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, don't mean to ever go that way. I got much love for everybody and respect, and who deserve it. And yeah, that's all I could say. So yeah, moving on. So we find out that they're lovers, right? Ginger.
I think they're more than lovers. I think they secretly
Wait,
got married.
did they?
I think they secretly got married.
Did I miss
Because
that?
didn't they kill her husband?
Oh
Or are
my
we
God!
talking about different people?
If that happened, I totally lost that one. All I know is that they're together, they're lovers, and they want to spend the rest of their life together and getting
No,
rid of all.
well, she thinks that's what they want. She finds out that's not necessarily what he wanted.
Right.
He wanted her out of the way. He wanted to marry her. See, that's why I think they were married, because he wanted to inherit her money. He wanted her money.
CM, save the drama for your manual. For my mama. Save your drama for your mama. Wait a second. What's going on?
That's just a saying, Dino. That's just a saying.
Save your drama for your mama. Okay. See, I don't know what's going on. Anyways, so those two are lovers. We find out that during this whole discussion here at the end, everything good, CM? Save the drama for your mama. Let me know. Anyways, sometimes I don't know. I just don't know. So they're working on killing the last victim, who is Tao Li, and you can explain that because you brought that up 10 minutes into the discussion. But
well, I was asked by
yeah,
Chris W. who
yes.
my favorite character in the movie was and why. And I said, you really don't get a chance to connect with any of these characters. First of all, there's so many of them. You don't really get a chance to connect with any of them or learn anything about them, except that they all have a motive for getting that diary. They all want their hands on that diary. That diary changes hands so much. And
okay, CM, I got you. Sometimes I don't know what to joke because even myself, I tell jokes and I even know. Okay, so Christian, Contessa Christian and Massimo. Okay, those two are having a very intense discussion at the fashion house, right? And they're trying to figure out what's going on. And doesn't he look in his desk and he was getting ready to, basically there's jewels there and it's all about money. And what ends up happening is they go back and forth about it because she fell off of the roof and he thought she was dead.
Mm-hmm.
Remember? He thought she was dead, but she just has a concussion. She landed on something. Good for her. And he assures her that they'll be together, okay? But there's one more kill that needs to be done, and she needs to do it. And it's Tao Li. Horror show, A Clockwork Orange. Oh, I love that movie. Oh, geez, it's a great flick. One of my favorites of all time. Yes. So this is a scene, the kill scene with Tao Li, where there's kind of a mistake. This is where you get the razor blade, which ends up becoming a staple in most of the giallo
of those. Yes.
Yes. The razor, and it comes out here, not for the neck, but it is Contessa Christiana. It's the Contessa who's going to do it. And he told her, you got to go do it. So we find out that
why does she have to go do it? And you kind of acted like you didn't understand what I meant, or you didn't believe what I meant when I said why she had to kill that last woman.
Okay, go ahead again. Because, explain.
They were trying to completely throw everybody off the trail of who the killer could be. So he explains to her that she has to kill that last girl, that Tao Li, and leave evidence there in her apartment to make it look like she's the killer. That's why she killed her. She killed her and she cut her wrist, and you can see there's already a mark on her wrist where to cut it.
Yeah, you've seen that too.
She cut her wrist with the razor.
It's a little
And then
goof.
she left stuff there. She left the mask, she left the gloves there because she wants it to look like this was the killer, and she committed suicide because she didn't want to go to jail, or I don't know, but that's why they killed her. That's why she had to go kill her, to make it look like she was the killer and that
Okay.
she killed herself.
Okay.
Yes.
If you say so, it makes sense to me, I
I
guess.
say so.
So
Didn't you notice how she left stuff there? Why would she leave stuff there?
Oh, no. Yeah, no, you're right. Exactly. Horror Junkie. Yeah, I can't wait to see the pictures in Discord. It's definitely a place where yeah, we share pictures and talk about our lives and what's going on. So that's another perk of becoming a channel member or Patreon
Dino
member.
talks a lot about Lord of the Rings, so bring a pillow and a blanket.
Oh, please. No, I don't. Oh, God. Well, I mean, the original Lord of the Rings, I mean, come on.
Oh no, I shouldn't have said it. I'm so sorry.
Okay, yeah,
I'm
I'll move
so
on.
sorry, everybody.
Yeah. Goomba, autistic, the kind of autism where you can, like, you said you memorized the entire NADSAT dictionary. Okay. You know what? I think I remember that in past streams you talking about that, where some of the conversation went that way. But it sounds like you're able to like handle life and stuff like that for the most part. I think that's good. That's good. And hello, sick pup. So
What's up, sick pup, young man? How was school?
yeah, what's up, sick pup, man? What is going on with you? End of the movie. End of the movie.
Dad, you're embarrassing us.
Me? What?
Nothing.
Thank you for explaining that, Ginger. Oh yeah, Ginger. I'm making. She's going to get a trophy for explaining that one. The murders weren't straightforward, but there were many ulterior motives. Ginger, you explained it very well. Have you been? Let me ask you something. Have you been a professor?
Everybody, get ready to take a shot. Pour a shot because I feel middle fingers incoming. Go ahead, Dino.
Have you been?
Take it away.
No, I mean seriously. Have you been like a teacher or a professor or something like that in real life that I don't know about? Because you explain everything so well. Okay, so the ending of the movie, let's round it up. Here we go. The end of the movie, Ginger, right?
Dino, yes.
Who kills who? This is a pop quiz. Pop quiz. Who kills who? Oh, she's got to look at notes. No. I don't use notes in my class.
Somebody gets shot. They both die.
I don't use notes in my class, and neither does Dave. He's a professor. No notes. Okay, so what ends up happening? Let me refer.
No.
Oh, good one. Yeah. So Contessa.
Nobody can do the Giallo like Dino. Okay. Sorry.
Giallo.
There's always room for Giallo.
Yes. So what happened?
Wrap it up, Dino.
I'm trying to. Jesus criminy.
Oh, are you?
Contessa shoots Massimo, and
I said that. I said somebody gets shot.
Yeah, somebody.
And instead of agreeing with me, you tried to shame me.
I said who? Because it's important. The ending of this movie, Massimo gets shot by Contessa. So it's kind of a Romeo and Juliet story, really, when you get down to it. And then after he dies, Contessa, with all the concussion from the fall, I guess she had too much too, and she does this kind of and falls down on him, and she ends up dying.
It's very symbolic, like.
Is it Romeo and Juliet?
You sinned and now you gotta die. Those are the rules.
Yes. And that's how the movie ends. So see you guys next week. No, I'm BC's
creamy.
This is a form of Giallo.
It's
by
not a form
Dario.
of Giallo. It's
No, it's a
another
form
form.
of
It came from Germany. Don't you listen to anything I say, young men?
yes.
You talk and you talk and you talk. You try to make them absorb, and they just don't absorb anything.
Womp, 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 womp,
And
womp,
it's like
womp,
you're just
womp,
talking to
womp,
yourself.
womp, 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 womp. Creamy is a form of filmmaking that Dario Argento took from and used in most of his 80s greatest giallo films of all time. So there you go. And she fell off the roof. Yes, she did. Yes. I'm going to bed. Night. I'll see you tomorrow. Night, Horror Junkie for life.
Good
Thank
night,
you,
Horror
Horror
Junkie. Thanks
Junkie.
for everything.
Yes, much love to you. And Paul Ham says, great nails, Ginger. Oh, brother.
Don't get me started on my
Oh.
nails.
So this movie, let's wrap it up and
Thank
give
you,
our
Paul.
final thoughts here on things on this.
Scale of 1 to
Overall,
10, go. Scale of 1 to 10.
overall, listen. Overall, this was a fantastic film. Is it one of the
Fantastic.
greatest? No, it's not one of the greatest. What was it? A great watch? Yes, I enjoyed it. I love it for its groundbreaking filmmaking for the giallo genre and what was to come. So bravo, Mario Bava. I wish you would have passed a lot of that on to your son Lamberto. And Lamberto made a couple all right movies, but you think his father would have taught him some, but you can't teach art. You can't teach an eye for art. But overall, I think out of 10, this film, for what it is, I would give a solid 6.8 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was going to
Yeah.
say a 7. I thought you would be more generous than me. I was going
Really?
to say about I'd give it a 7.
Okay.
Just because it's so visually, it's so beautiful.
Peace, CM. You take
See
care.
you, CM. Hope to see you in the stream tonight.
Yeah, we have overnight tonight, Old Time Radio. I put together a all spooky night, so it's a gruesome, frightening, spooky night. So there you go, Binks. I didn't say thank you. I just see that you became a channel member. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Congratulations and welcome.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I thought you were before, but maybe not. But good to have you. Just remember the movie nights and remember the email in the description. Links are everywhere, you guys, for everything.
Movie nights are pants optional, FYI.
Yes, movie night. Yes, Ginger is. Anyways, yeah, it shouldn't be said. She's not wearing nothing from the waist down, and neither am I. I figured keep the air conditioner blowing and keep things cooled off. With that said, oh boy, that went in the wrong direction.
Well, now
That
you've
is
done
all.
it, haven't you? Now
That
you've
is
done
all.
it.
That is all false. But it's a good image to have, I guess, or maybe not. Maybe it's a disgusting image. I don't know.
Yes, picture the lady who gets out of the bathtub in The Shining.
Oh God. Okay, come on. So listen, tomorrow night also, Paranormal Into the Night. I have a guest, FPI Unsolved. We are going to be talking with her about near-death experiences and a ton of spooky morgue stories. Okay, so you better show up for that. That is going to be so good, so scary, so spooky. But honestly, a very interesting subject and near-death experiences. It's a very interesting topic to get into because there's a lot of proof out there. But you stay tuned for Paranormal Tonight tomorrow for that. And Friday night will be movie night. Not sure what the movie will be yet, but then Saturday night is trivia night for the Black Cat. So the Universal.
So Rich Cat, Kathy, is she still here? Where's Rich Cat? Rich Cat, she's got the method.
Yeah.
Whatever movie that we're going to do trivia for, she watches the movie.
It's a method of my love. What? She's got a method.
You know that Hall & Oates met right here in Philadelphia when they were students at Temple University. I just want to get that out there.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, so Rich Cat. There she is. She's here. So what?
She always,
See?
whatever movie you're doing the trivia on, she watches the movie the night before because she's smart like that.
Ah.
And that's why she always wins.
Listen, I put these trivia nights up way ahead of time. You can go to the channel.
We know.
You can go to the channel and see
We
everything
know.
that's listed way ahead of time so that you're prepared for anything there is. And yeah, you can also Twitter.
Trivia nigh. Trivia is nigh. It's nigh.
What? Trivia nigh? Oh, yeah. Oh. Sounds like a groovy time. You don't know the
totally
half
groovy,
of it, Doug.
baby.
You don't know the half of it, Doug. Anyways,
so
Lord Ginger. Oh,
what?
Lord Ginger. What Goomba? You calling her?
Oh Lord, because I was talking about the lady that gets out of the
Lord
bathtub in The
Ginger.
Shining.
Oh Lord. Okay, I got you. I love Hall & Oates, one of my favorite bands. I wrote a novel listening to Say It Isn't So.
Oh, I have an interesting little tidbit of trivia about this movie before I let you go.
METHOTOFLOVE. Okay, go ahead. What's the trivia?
When they did the dubbing, this was another one of those movies where it was international, where everybody spoke a different language.
Yeah.
When they dubbed the movie, when they were doing it for English audiences, one man did every male voice in the movie. One man dubbed, so he's basically talking to himself. One man does all the male voices in this movie.
What?
Fact.
That's cray-cray.
Isn't it cray? That is cray.
Whoa. Jeez. No way. One man.
What do you think about the music in this?
Mel Blancs.
In the beginning of this movie, there's this really loud trumpet. It's kind of disturbing. It's like it's a trumpet, which is nice, but it's so like loud and like blaring that it's kind of disturbing. Like it's too loud.
Well, the soundtrack, I mean, it was done by I forget the guy's name, but he was a very, very good at his job, and the soundtrack is amazing for this. It has a lot of groovy, jazzy kind of 60s era music and atmosphere to it. So I didn't catch the trumpet sound that kind of annoyed
at the beginning of the movie. It's jarring. It's like they want you to be on edge. It's kind of disturbing. It's really loud, and I'm surprised you didn't notice.
Yeah, no, I didn't notice the trumpet. But anyways, Ginger did.
You're just not observant. I know. You just don't notice stuff.
Whatever.
I could shave my head and you wouldn't notice.
Anyways, me and Ginger, next one is Sunday.
Sunday. And this is the main event.
Yes.
And then it follows with tractor pull.
Yeah, Sunday Night SmackDown. It will be Blowout.
Review and tractor pull.
Brian De Palma. Blowout. Nancy Allen. John Travolta.
Filmed right here in
Philadelphia, PA. That's the best kind of voice acting, when you can do multiple voices and have a conversation with him going crazy. Yeah, I would love. That's interesting. Yeah. Reminds me of family.
Don't get Dino started on his voices, or we'll be here all night.
No, I'm done. It's hot in here. I need to eat. I'm done. Oh, don't shave those curls. Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm going curly again. I gotta wash my hair, and it's gonna go curly again.
Oh well.
Sorry.
Philly represent Binks and Philly. Whoa. Yeah. Okay, anyway, so there we go. Another movie discussion in the books. Thank you guys all very much for being here and hanging out with us. And
I remember hayrides. That hayrides is like one of the most fun parts of fall.
Oh God.
The hayride and the corn maze and
Sick pup from California. Represent. Enjoy dinner.
Drinking warm apple cider by a bonfire. We had a bonfire every year, and
Nice.
square dancing.
Squared. What the hell
We
are you
really did. When
talking
I was a
about?
kid, we really did square dancing. It was
Oh
fun.
my.
Square dancing's
Well, I
fun.
bet you. I bet you. Always great, Rich. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna end it here. Thank you guys all for coming.
You're ending it early. See, Dino thinks this show stank so bad that it's not even worth hanging on till 9:30. We'll see you all in the chat later.
Hey, I gotta eat, man. So yeah, I'll see you in the chat. The spooky overnight. Enjoy, and much love to each and every one of you. Say the last word, Ginger.